Oh man, I just saw the fucking reaction to my She-Hulk video, and I'm taking the bulk of the blame on this. Everybody says that Alex is right and I'm wrong, which is weird because Alex gave it a 7 out of 10 and I gave it a 7 out of 10. But I understand it's my show, and Joe gave it a 5 out of 10, so you're probably more in line with what Joe said. I get it, it's my show, so I'll get the most of the flack on this. People are calling me sellouts. They say if Joe doesn't give this a 0 out of 10, then he is afraid of being canceled, calling my integrity into question, and really just attacking the channel. And, I'm really surprised by the reaction. I think the biggest thing that I said that was wrong was that I don't care about power levels. Um, Comparisons. They said, Joe, you would be pissed if Wonder Woman was stronger than Superman or shown to be as strong as Superman. It's one example. Another example is, oh, Joe, you're a fucking lying sellout. You would totally care if they showed Supergirl poning Superman over and over or shown to be as strong as Superman. And I thought about that. And I said, you know what? I actually don't care if Wonder Woman is shown at times to be as strong as Superman. It doesn't bother me like it bothers you or it hurts your ego so much. If they show Supergirl getting a bunch of good punches in on Superman, actually hurting him, I would say that's in character and that's part of her power level. And I wouldn't give the show a 0 out of 10 if in a training sequence she gets good hits on Hulk. But that's what you've done here. As you've said that because She-Hulk can take Smart Hulk. See, that's the thing. I did not clarify what I meant. I wasn't talking about Hulk because Hulk as we know him no longer exists right now. It's Smart Hulk. It's crazy. Like, okay, but let's look. I get it. I totally get it. I find talking down to men constantly fucking annoying. I do. I get that some of you's whole identity is anti woke, and if there's something fucking woke, it deserves to be a negative 1 out of 10 on your scale. I totally understand that from an outside perspective, but the culture war doesn't matter that much to me. I get it if it starts to ruin my favorite things. I'm totally with you. I hated it when it was in Star Wars. We had Admiral Gender Studies literally talking down to Poe with the worst fucking plan. This Rey Mary Sue character who never really earned anything, and this new Disney Star Wars that never really had a direction. I agree with all that, and I get it. I understand. But even those pieces of media, I didn't give a 0 out of 10. So for you to walk in here and say that I'm lying, I'm deceitful, I'm uncritical, if I don't give She-Hulk a 0 out of 10, I'm afraid of being canceled. You guys have gone way too fucking far. A segment of you, I'm not talking to all of you. I'm talking to a segment of you that gets riled up, that complains about my 40-minute videos while watching a 45-minute angry rant about episode 1, an hour-long rant about episode 1 and how it's man-hating. Then you come and complain that my video is 40 minutes when we talk about other things besides the swipes at men. But let's talk about the swipes at men, okay? It's mainly, I think, what really triggered so many dudes was this scene right here.
Bruce, I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult or I might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you. So all of this just feels like projecting a lot of shit onto me.
See.
The problem with that scene is she goes too far and takes a swipe at Bruce, saying infinitely more than you. while disregarding all of Bruce's experiences. And it simultaneously triggered every single MRA member, men's rights activist, every anti-woke person on the internet collectively exploded at once. Because I think they think the show was supporting her point of view, when I think the point of the scene was that she says she could control her anger so much better than Hulk, simultaneously losing it, becoming too angry, and turning in to She-Hulk, thus proving everything that she just said was bullshit. Okay? Now, I don't understand why you can't allow women to say, hey, catcalling sucks, it makes me angry. Hey, being mansplained my own position and having my ideas taken by men or whatever pisses me off. Having the possibility of being killed and raped in an alley or being fearful of that sucks.
So this show looks just garbage. I will be honest with you. I'm sorry. Is you lecturing in the most tendentious fashion about how hard women have it in the United States in the middle of a comic book show? Is that hugely important?
Why does saying that piss off men so fucking much?
Inside, women are so victimized; they're constantly having to hold back in the face of male aggression, and it needs to be promoted to teenage boys who are watching She-Hulk.
Infinitely more than you. Again, tying into, I'm better than you. A woman screaming at your face, I'm better than you.
Because I'm better than you?
You're not an incel. You don't hate women.
So if we're just talking about like who gets killed in the United States, like in terms of homicide victims, I'm going to note that men get killed way more often than women.
Part of this scene is her being an asshole, ignorant, a bit of a bitch. Is she putting truths in there? Yes, there are some truths in there. Is she right? No, she's wrong. And I hope the show realizes that, and I hope that's the idea the show is conveying. If it's not, and we see that in episode 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, fine, you got me. But I think this particular scene really fucking bothered men, some type of men.
You want to create an opening for market competition so that we here at Daily Wire can make kids content and take away some of your market share? I'm happy to do it. I mean, I'm fine with it. Makes me more money. Makes me more money. Makes me more money.
Oh, I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
She was being self-absorbed. She was being ignorant of what other people have been through. She was attacking Bruce. You know, when you're going off, when you're self-righteous and you don't realize what you sound like. I think I'm hoping that that's what that was, and that she has a arc to go on, that she's going to learn so much from that. Now, it's possible that no, that's not the way it was. That's the way I saw it, though, and that's how I called it, and that's how I reviewed it. It didn't hurt me and my ego down to the core where I was like, nope, 0 out of 10, this show hates all men.
About how hard women have it in the United States in the middle of a comic book show. Is that hugely important? Homicide victims? I'm going to note that men get killed way more often than women.
They literally want every single man in the world to drop dead and die. Men's rights activists, rise up. Stop this show.
But we have to keep pushing, is the idea that women are victims in the United States. They're part of the victim coalition here in the United States, and you have to hear it from She-Hulk. She-Hulk will tell you about it. It's so important, guys. I mean, I'm fine with it. Makes me more money. Makes me more money.
Now who's smoking?
I'm going to read this for you. After realizing who Joe is, I encourage everyone to rewatch his commentary on recent controversial shows. You will notice his rating methods are based on self-denial, ignorance, feigned interest, excuses, naive optimism, and promotions for the leftist agenda, where he approaches the realization of irredeemable status of this show. It's an irredeemable show, guys. At the end of it, all he's left with trying to rationalize his uncritical, deceitful, insulting, biased decision-making. Because I gave She-Hulk a 7 out of 10. Alex is so much right. I just want to watch Alex talk about it. He gave it a 7 out of 10. You guys are talking out of your ass. We who have noticed and made it known don't need to fear the undermining of integrity or baseless accusations that follow, because it never changes the reality of what has happened, does happen, and will happen, and such is the benefit of clarity that comes from valuing the right principles. Gobbledygook nonsense. Fucking nonsense. If you want to unsubscribe from the channel because I didn't give She-Hulk episode 1 a 0 out of 10 or a rating much, much lower, then do it. We don't need you here. If I lost 1 million subscribers over this, over a differing opinion, I would still be able to sleep at night. Because a woman screamed at you and you were like, how dare you? And you're taking it out on the show. You're saying, and if you look at this, you bros rate woke content like the majority of IGN reviews. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I really just don't care that much about the woke, anti-woke culture. It doesn't matter that much to me. If there's a few swipes at men from a female director, a female writer, I don't immediately shut down and get my panties in a bunch and start screaming bloody murder and make a 45-minute angry rant video over it. Some people do, and I get it. That's their thing. Look, I'm called Angry Joe. If somebody is ripping us off in a video game, I'll make an hour-long rant and I'll get my panties in a bunch. That's my passion. If your passion is, you know, men are getting insulted and men have feelings too, go at it. That's great, man. That's wonderful for you. And there's a whole subcosm and microcosm and revenue generation stream on YouTube and personalities that you can listen to and let them rile you up. But, you know, it's honestly starting to turn into, if anything has a female lead, then it's slanted. And certain people are going to hate it. Certain people are going to pick at it. Certain people are going to blow things up. And it's getting crazy, man. It's getting ridiculous. And I'm not a part of that. You know what I mean? I'll call it out when I see it. Like, look, when I see a bad character like Rey, right? I think Rey from Star Wars is a bad character. I think Admiral General Studies from Star Wars is a bad character, an annoying character. And I get it. This episode from She-Hulk, she was so annoying. She was abrasive. She was, you know, she really hurt your feelings. I get it. And I just think that's a part of her character arc. And I've seen people act that way before. And I've seen people grow into better people from that before. But when you're depicting that type of person and then you immediately give it a 0 out of 10 because of the type of person that she is, I mean, I think that's going a little bit too far. If you want to say, look, it's a boring ass show, that's fine. Like, I totally agree with you. I could totally see you saying that. But to say that the entire show is about men suck and women are flawless, I think you're missing the point. I don't think that that's what it's saying. There's a few swipes at men.
I have been analyzing your blood, and the way it synthesized gamma, I was able to use it to completely heal my arm.
Oh. Because I'm better than you?
It's just basically different.
In a better way.
There's a few female perspective things and looking at things from a female perspective, but that doesn't mean that females are flawless.
You with anyone?
I'm waiting for my ride.
What's your name?
I think my boyfriend's just
Oh, come on, where you going? Let us keep you
Hey, we're just being friendly.
Yeah, where you going?
So what, you too good to talk to us?
I'm so sick of this. Like, anytime there's any fucking social commentary in any comic book, anything, people fucking flip out. A certain segment of men flip out. Let's be honest. if it's by a female, if it's a female-led show with a female director, with a female writer, and takes any amount of swipes at men, whether that has a point or not, it has no right to bring up any of those female experiences in this female-led show, female-centric show with a female perspective. They're not allowed to approach it. Otherwise, it becomes woke garbage. It becomes an attack on all men in the entire universe. And they say that all women and all men are at war. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Grow thicker skin. If it seems like your ego is hurt because they're showing catcalling and a woman gets pissed off that she's being catcalled and you take it poorly, examine yourself. Take a moment's pause. Do you really give a shit? Do you think it should be there in a female-centric show? Do you think it's okay for them to bring that up? It's not everybody, and it's just not everybody. What if they did the same shit with Superman? How would you react? Again, the only thing I care about is good characters, good. The only thing that I care about anymore is good characters, good writing, good stories. I think She-Hulk has the potential to still be all of those things. It's episode 1, for Christ's sake. I mean, to judge the entire series on that, it's just crazy, man. Okay, but that's how some people want to run it, and you're gonna be so pissed at me that I didn't hate it as much as you did. That the comments are gonna become a complete cesspool like that. It's disappointing. It's fucking disappointing. You guys do a good job with these. So it's not everybody, You guys do a good job with these reviews. Thank you. What if they did the same shit with Superman? How would you react? Again, I will address this. If they show a fucking training montage with fucking Supergirl able to throw rocks as far as Superman, it really wouldn't hurt my feelings that much. It really wouldn't. Now, if they do a whole entire episode of Supergirl beating the hell out of Superman, guess what? It wouldn't really bother me that much if it is in the right context. Did you know when she went to Apocalypse, Darkseid turned her against Superman and she fucking kicks his ass? She can kick Superman's ass. Can She-Hulk take Hulk by surprise? Yes. Now, I get it. Your fucking ego, and you get so hurt when you were woman-splained. It was woman-splaining what she was doing. They say it's mansplaining. That was woman-splaining, right? And dismissing Bruce's experiences. That was fucked up. And you can be upset about that. I just, I thought I was being reasonable. I thought I was giving people the benefit of the doubt to, prove, what they want to do with their characters and their story. But if you guys want to have this overreaction, you want to stop everything, stop the presses here in episode 1, that's fine. And call me a sellout, that's fine. And I don't shy away from stuff like this. It just sucks that, the culture war has grown so big to the point where this kind of stuff would happen. Like, my comments on that video is an absolute cesspool. And if it upsets you and you leave the channel because you don't agree with me, or you unsubscribe because we don't agree on an MCU show, that's fine. I think you'll sleep better and I'll sleep better. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.